Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Star War with THAC.
Hey.
I am your Space Galaxy co-host, Noah.
And I am your space host, Guy Troy.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good now.
You feeling Star Wars right now?
I'm feeling some Star Wars.
Yeah.
I saw it 2 weeks ago or so it's still pretty fresh in my mind.
Okay.
We're meaning to do the Star Wars podcast.
Cool.
Speaking of which, Star Wars podcast. This podcast, the Stack Posdcast, is all about Star Wars.
Yes,
and
this
the galaxies and the space and
would
the
be
lightsabers.
An official Star Wars podcast. We asked Disney, and Disney said, "Go ahead."
That happened.
And we're like, "Yeah, we'll do it just for you, Disney." And,
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing a Star Wars cast. Warning, this is not only spoilers for the new movie, but this is spoilers for all of the movies. We're not going to go through every single movie in detail, but we are going to reference every movie, so we will spoil them. So just giving you heads up, if you don't want to be spoiled, this may not be the video for you, but if you have seen Star Wars...
Or podcast for you.
This, yes.
Video or podcast for you.
Video or podcast for you. Those at home listening, listen to this. For those who are watching both, hi. Yeah, we're doing that thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to be talking about Star Wars. We're mostly going to be referring to The Force Awakens. We want to talk about that one.
Because that's the hot thing.
That's the hot one. That's the hot button. So we're going to be going over that. But, so we will reference all Star Wars. So if you have not seen Star Wars, that's totally cool.
Go watch it and then come back and listen to this.
Yes, absolutely.
Unless you just don't care about spoilers, in which case, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. I mean, and hey, if you just want to learn about Star Wars and be in part of the conversation, great, because we are always open to your comments. We're always open to how you feel. Feel free to email us at
podcast@THAC.tv.
your thoughts, and maybe we'll talk about them later too.
Yeah, we may talk about them on the regular podcast. This is a special edition podcast.
Special edition.
Only Star Wars
Absolutely.
allowed.
Cool.
Unless we don't talk about Star Wars at some point, in which case that is allowed.
Yeah, and if you guys want more of these about different other topics,
We're going by wrestling rules, whereas there's rules, but we absolutely do not have to follow them.
For certain that implies we're both heels at this point. So what we'll do is we'll follow the rules, but if a heel topic comes up, it'll change.
Yeah.
You know what we should do? We should do new topics all the time for special podcasts.
Maybe.
If you guys
maybe we can talk about wrestling or something because we like
Yeah.
talking about that.
That's true. If
The
you guys like we will have more special podcasts like this one, but send in topics of what you want to hear. Maybe
Sounds like I said wrestle cats.
we can wrestle cats.
No, just cats. Wrestle cats. It's a good anime.
You want to watch? Oh,
Yeah, we'll make that anime now. Wrestle cats.
if you guys want to see that, email us at podcast@THAC.tv.
We'll make it happen. Wrestle cats coming soon. 2015.
2015.
Yep.
I better start yesterday.
So Star Wars is pretty good.
Star Wars is really fun. I have given my 60-second review on the podcast before.
The podcast proper.
Yes, podcast proper, but we are going to give in-depth what we feel about the movies and how we feel about Star Wars in general.
And one last time, spoilers. They will happen.
Spoilers, yes.
Let's start from the beginning. Not episode 1 beginning.
Yes.
Start from the beginning of episode 7. First of all, did you like it?
Did I like episode 7? I think episode 7 is a really good Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
And by that I mean Star Wars is a really fun franchise, and the fun of watching a Star Wars film is it's a broad story with objectives, heroes, villains, bold objectives, bold characters, people being brave, people being courageous, people being cowardly. It's like you don't need super complexity to do Star Wars. You need it to be engaging. You need to have the characters matter, and it's kind of like going back and watching like an animated movie that you grew up with, where the story isn't super in depth. You just know it makes you feel things even to this day. And that's what Star Wars is all about. And I think it's about the people. It's about the characters.
It's not about the big, large trade agreements and trade federations and Phantom Menaces and Clone Wars and Siths getting revenge.
Like, if you're watching Star Wars because you want to watch lightsaber fights, you're watching the wrong thing. I mean, Star Wars has that, but go play the video games. Go read
You know what?
Go read the comics. What?
There wasn't really any lightsaber fights in
The new
Force
one?
Awakens.
Yeah, there was. There was one big one at the very end in the snow.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is you see how it's not over-encompassed.
It wasn't happening every 30
Right.
minutes like in episode 1 through 3.
Because it was staged well. Because so going to the lightsaber concept, when you watch the old Star Wars movies, anytime Luke pulled up the lightsaber, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was when things were tense or things like needed us to solve. Like he takes down an AT, the walker things.
AT-AT or AT-ST, I can't remember.
Yeah, the AT-ATs are the big ones.
Okay, the AT-STs are the two-legged ones.
Yes. So he took out one of those with a lightsaber when he thought he was going to die against the Wampa. When he, like the speeder bike. So it's not like a lot. He doesn't just bust it out for everything, you know? And that's the problem with the prequels is everything feels kind of just sidetracky and rushed and tacked on. Like,
it's been 15 minutes. Pull out a lightsaber, make something happen.
Yeah, here's the origin of Boba Fett. Let's just tack that on because people want to know that. Just do it. And it doesn't flow with the story. It's not necessary to be there. Yeah. And when you have movies like Force Awakens, it kind of everything leads to one set piece. We meet our character, Rey, and we meet our character Finn. They both end up on the same planet, and they interact, and they go forward, and everything kind of flows nicely. Mm-hmm. So to me, the reason why I do like the new movie is because everything has kind of a clear vision of what needs to happen, because we're trying to get to the next scene. Mm-hmm. Every scene is a setup for the next scene to keep moving. It doesn't become a, let's just dump a bunch of knowledge on you, and then that's your plot. You're not like you know what I mean? Like you're learning things as you go. Yeah. Like we were talking off camera before. Again, spoilers. You know, like here's do the little thing. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Spoiler alarm.
Yeah. We'll do that every time. No. When in passing, in a conversation, because the characters know, we don't. Mm-hmm. In passing, there's a moment where it's like, oh my God, Han Solo's son is the bad guy.
It's Kylo Ren.
Is Kylo Ren the bad guy? And so you're like, whoa, that's crazy. That's important news. But it moves the story along because it's not just like, by the way, this. It's we're having a conversation about the opposition, and you know Han Solo's coming with them. Yeah. You know that you're going to have to take down everybody who comes here, right?
Including your father.
Including your father, Han Solo. So the thing is, the reason why it's a big deal, that doesn't feel like what I like about that is that doesn't feel tacked on. It's part of the plot of him going, will I be able to kill my father? You know what I mean? Like, so that moves that part of the story along. It does not feel this forced. Hey, I didn't even mean that one.
Anyway. Yeah, I mentioned this. We tried to record this one time already. Whoops, computer messed up. But I did mention feign surprise, Noah. I almost missed that part in the theater when my wife and I went to see Force Awakens because I had to go out and use the bathroom, and I just stopped when Kylo Ren walked in and we saw Grandmaster Snoke because it's like, oh, that's a large thing. I should see what's going on here. Yeah. This is probably important.
Snoke was cool.
Yeah. That was Andy Serkis.
Yes, it was.
That's cool.
Yes, it was.
I shouldn't be surprised by that. When he walked in, I was about to walk out the door when that happened. I was like, oh, I want to see who this is. Is this the new Emperor or something? I should see what's going on. Mm-hmm. And then they said the Han Solo father thing, and I was like, I'm really glad I didn't just walk out the door here because I would have missed one of, say, like two big things that happen in that movie.
Right.
That is the first of the big things.
Yes.
The second, we all know. But third, I would say second and a half big thing was that Grandmaster Snoke was a hologram.
Yeah.
I thought, and again, like you were saying before, it was really neat how they just mentioned things in passing that are actually bombshells. That aspect of Grandmaster Snoke, in the end, when that stuff is collapsing, and it falls through him, and you're like, oh, it's a hologram. It just mentioned in passing, basically.
Right.
Visually mentioned in passing.
Right. It's nicely set up. It gives it attention without beating you over the head with it or making it something where it's unnecessary.
Yeah. So we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but going back to the beginning, and we were talking about episode 1 through 3 at some point here, and I mentioned that I did take issue with episode 7. I don't have many issues with it really, and this isn't really a big one, is it still did the thing, not to nearly the insane degree as episode 1 through 3, but it did the thing that episode 1 through 3 did that drove me crazy, which was trying to make the Star Wars universe smaller than it is, which was the big thing to me was like, all the Jango Fett, Boba Fett stuff in episode 1 through 3. It's like, that's not necessary. Jango Fett's a bounty hunter. The end. Or Boba Fett's a bounty hunter. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need a backstory behind that. You're just wasting time. And then the whole Clone Wars thing was literally taken from one line in episode 4. Like, you fought in the Clone Wars? That could have just been a thing that happened.
Yeah,
you have to spend an entire movie about it.
And that's the thing, too, is you could have had the Clone Wars happen, but
in the cartoon show or something,
Well, sure, but you could have had a movie about the Clone Wars. That would have been fine. It just
what would be neat.
It's such a sidetrack.
Yeah,
you don't need the war. The war has nothing to do with the plot. It's just the plot is keeping Chancellor Palpatine in office.
Yeah,
it's a political campaign.
Yeah,
so
that's not what people want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
No one cares. The thing that I just thought of, like, what would be a pretty neat thing? I just thought of this, but what if in episode 1 through 3, the Clone Wars was the backdrop for all the action? Like, starting in episode 1, the Clone Wars are going on. All these planets are pumping their resources into fighting the Clone Wars. They're all poor, and it's a messed up, anti-war type thing.
The clones could be like this big, giant, like, weird planet that's like spawning these like jelly-like monsters that solidify into creatures.
Nope, that's where the stormtroopers came from, because we want to know that. Why couldn't they just been episode 7? I feel like they retconned this a little bit. There's a throwaway line about it, but like in episode 7, they say, "Oh, these stormtroopers are way better than clones. They're way more loyal than the clones were." And it's like, okay, we were forgetting about the clones. Got it.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing too. It's like, so we've taken all this time to explain what the stormtroopers are, and the concept. Like, when
did we really need to have the stormtroopers explained to us though?
Not at all.
Because human beings are familiar with the army. Yeah, why couldn't the stormtroopers been the army?
The entire setup with Star Wars is it feels very World War II. There's like bomber fights and like dog fights in the sky, and like you have like Darth Vader's like an SS officer walking around kicking down doors, going like, "What's going on? Hey, we're messing your stuff up."
The Empire's, well, I wouldn't call them space Nazis, but
like close enough, Like,
they're the space bad guys.
Yeah, they're the space bad. They're trying to dominate the world with an army.
Yeah.
So having people either sign up for money, be already a part of their cult-like environment of like, let's start a regime, or people who are forced into it, which again we see in episode 7. They talk about it in episode 7, which feels way more real. Like, if you think about it, like, stormtroopers aren't these like elite. We've trained them to be the greatest. They are scientifically bred to be the greatest.
Well, they did say that in the original trilogy. They did say only stormtroopers could shoot with this precision, blah, blah, blah.
No, and I know that. But what I'm talking about is the fact that, like, it still feels like, so why is this Jango Fett guy so important? Because he's like...
Because everything's connected.
Everything's connected, And it's like, I understand that, like, Boba Fett or Jango Fett is actually, like, a different kind of race or whatever, apparently. He's not, like, from Earth or whatever, obviously. But the point is, the problem I have with everything is just, like... with the stormtroopers especially, is they feel human. They feel like they're people running around. By the way,
they did not feel expendable in 7 like they did in 1 through 3 and 4 through 5 or 4 through 6. Really,
they're just goons.
They were just the faceless goons with guns.
They've always been the faceless goons with guns, and that's the thing. Is like, that's why I don't like overhyping the concept of the stormtroopers. They're footmen.
Yeah.
So when you have it be all like this really encompassing thing, like, oh my God, it's so important that they're clones of this guy. It's like, why can't they just be guys going like, I'm going in the service?
Yeah. I think one of the coolest things to me, and something I was not expecting, and this is a genius way of doing it in episode 7 too, is they made the stormtroopers bleed.
Yeah.
They, like, in the very beginning when Finn, and this is what I'm saying, the way to mark Finn, like, he sees the stormtrooper dying, and the stormtrooper puts his hand upon his helmet as he's dying, and like he leaves a blood splatter or like a bloody handprint on the side of the stormtrooper helmet, and that's how you know it's Finn from then on. But that also makes him seem more human instead of just going, pew, I'm dead. The end.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
the guy, whoever that stormtrooper was, he died. He didn't just fall down. He slowly died.
Right.
And that's really cool to humanize the stormtroopers in a way.
Absolutely. And that's what I never understood was any reason to kind of just like make everything feel more sterile and just kind of not this gritty vibe. Because I think Star Wars is really cool when you have like gross creatures and weird environments. And then when you go to something like the prequels, and again, this isn't, I want to emphasize this too. I don't want or think the point of this podcast is to say the prequels suck. This new movie's good because it's not the prequels. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about why is Episode 7 a good Star Wars movie? You know what I mean? You could like it or not for being whatever. Hey, there's a lot of similar things in there, whatever. But does this work as a Star Wars movie?
Yeah.
And generally, the answer is yes.
The answer is it works a lot better as a Star Wars movie than Episode 1 through 3 did.
Well, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I just really don't like when the plot itself doesn't revolve around, like a muddled mess. Like when we go to the prequels, everything is just like the whole taxation of trade routes is the plot of the film. 100%. The plot of the film is the concept that Palpatine wants to stay in office so he can become the supreme chancellor of everything. And he helps these guys who are part of the trade thing, the Cardassians, I think they're called.
The Trade Federation is all I know.
No, they're not the Cardassians. Cardassians are from Star Trek. I'm sorry. They're.
I was gonna say, are you thinking of the Kardashians?
No, Kardashians are these weird orange alien people from our planet.
Yeah.
When you get a horrible tan, it usually ends up orange, right? Not pink.
Yeah.
It's orange. Yeah,
it's orange.
There you go. Anyway.
Or a fake tan.
Yeah, Cardassians are actual creatures from Star Trek.
Really?
I'm not even kidding. Cardassians are a thing.
Cool.
So, but Shatnerians they're called, which is the weird, the guys like
yeah,
I was not aware.
I did not know this. In my mouth is a weird puppet right now.
Yeah, those guys, those are called Shatnerians.
Did they die in the end of 1 or 3?
No, they get killed. I'll never forget because I always thought his name was funny. His name is Newt Gunray.
Newt Gunray, yeah.
Newt Gunray dies in the 3rd movie, and Anakin just kills him.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's the thing.
Oh yeah, no. He walks in, they're like, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Phew," and they're dead.
Yeah. Lord Sidious promised us peace, and they get killed. The problem I have with
you've been punked, son. That's what he should have said.
Yeah.
You've been punked.
Hey, get owned, dude.
Yeah.
But like, that's a problem if you think about it, because it's like Newt Gunray is not a memorable character, but he's really important. He's part of this weird, crazy Ponzi scheme to corrupt the trade
blah 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 blah
thing, and it's like, so you gotta have that going on, and Palpatine trying to do again. All this sounds really boring, right?
It is, and
then it says any interesting, and you're like, I didn't see that in the movie, Noah. Well, guess what? That's the problem, is the fact that is the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
The movie is all revolved around all this nonsense of like, let's sit there and talk about political crap.
Whereas 7, it's, oh shit, there's a new Death Star.
There's a new Death Star. There's a bad guy. He's going to shoot a big laser and blow up a planet. We got to stop him. It's straightforward. Star Wars needs to be fun, engaging. I feel something, and I feel the weight of the danger.
Yeah.
That's it.
Star Wars and the weight of the danger. Star Wars Episode 8, The Weight of the Danger.
There you go. That's pretty good.
Speaking of weights, you see that they delayed Episode 8?
What do you mean?
Episode 8 was originally supposed to come out summer of 2017, I think. It's now December of 2017.
I thought it was always December 2017.
It was originally summer, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, so it got delayed by like 6 months or whatever.
Sorry. I literally don't notice because I was literally going, okay, I'll wait till...
I'll wait as long as it takes.
Yeah.
No,
I know, but that's what I'm saying is like, I don't feel like I've lost anything because I thought it was December 17th anyway. Yay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. The only way you could have surprised me is if it's the summer. I'd be like, sooner.
Yeah.
Anyway,
from where it got pushed back to the next like movie season. Yeah. If it was summer, it's now Christmas movie season. If it was Christmas, it's now summer. I can't remember which one.
And at the end of this year, we're getting Rogue One.
Oh yeah, that's coming on a TV, right?
What?
That's coming on TV, right?
No, it's a movie.
Is it? Rogue One's a movie?
It's a movie.
I thought it was a TV show.
No, it's a movie.
Sweet.
They're doing Star Wars Episode 7.
Yeah.
Then they're doing Rogue One. Mm-hmm. Then they're doing Episode 8.
Yeah.
Then they're doing The Adventures of Boba Fett, I think.
Okay.
Something like that, I think. And then 9. And then I think one more movie. And then after that, they're going to do Adventures of...
Space people.
Probably Wookiees. Who cares? Ewok movie.
Again, Episode 3. Yoda getting on the damn rocket ship. Goodbye, Chewbacca. It's like, why did he have to be there?
Hi, Chewbacca. Look, it's the Chewbacca planet, guys. You know Chewbacca. And like, okay, I could accept if we're on the Wookiee planet, but why is Chewbacca on the Wookiee planet?
Just happens. I don't
during
know.
the Wookiee War. Like, just because it's the like, I'm gonna say it. It's Star Wars racism. Oh, so it's got to be the Wookiee we know. It's got to be on with all the other Wookiees.
Yeah.
Think about it.
As if you couldn't tell.
Think about it. But yeah, seriously though, I don't understand that. I don't understand why everything has to be so. Every character is best friend. Well, we've never seen Yoda and Chewbacca together, so let's have a scene with them in the same movie. It just doesn't. It just feels really forced. It feels. Hey!
You did it. You did it.
I did it. Star Wars puns are bound to happen.
The forced awakens.
Yikes.
The force. I'm gonna force my force on you.
Don't. That sounds illegal.
Yeah.
What is the next movie going to be called?
I thought they already said something, but I guess
Star Wars Episode 8.
Episode 8, Star Wars happens.
Episode 8, Force on a Plate.
Episode 8, Star Wars is great.
Oh!
What if all Star Wars had to rhyme?
Star Wars 8 won't have... Oh, no. I just made myself really sad.
What?
No, I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was going to rhyme again.
Okay.
We're not saying it.
If each of the Star Wars movies had to rhyme, what would they be? Star Wars Episode 1, not a whole lot of fun. Star Wars Episode 2.
That movie's poo-poo.
Yeah, that movie's poo-poo. Star Wars Episode 3, just get away from me. Star Wars Episode 4.
Give me some more.
Give me some more. Star Wars Episode 5. It's the fifth. It's 5.
I'm loving that jive. Star Wars Episode 6.
This is kind of dicks.
No. I like that movie.
This movie is rushed as dick.
That's not fair. What?
Wait, when's the last time you saw Episode 6?
Probably like a month and a half ago.
Okay. Well, my wife had never seen Star Wars. Like this, this is so typical annoying nerd about me, and I'm sorry, but like Alyssa said, I asked her, and I was like, hey, in Star Wars Episode 4 when this thing happened, she's like, oh, I haven't seen that one. I was like, wait, I'm sorry, what? She goes, yeah, I only saw Episode 1. I didn't really like it.
Yeah, because
and so then my pupils turned white, and I go Super Saiyan and tell her she has to watch this nerd
thing. You just open your mouth and it projected the movie onto a wall.
Force movie. It's a thing I have. Yeah. So she watched it, and so we went back, and I haven't seen Episode 6 in like a couple of years at least. Mm-hmm. And so when I was watching it, I just thought like, man, Episode 3 and Episode 6, they kind of have the same theme of rushing it a little bit, of rushing to the ending.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying 6 is nearly as rushed as 3, but
you have to end it though. It has to end. Like it's that whole movie is just one big climax. Mm-hmm. It's we save Han, and then we go and save the day.
Yeah, that's save Han, save the day.
That movie has to be that.
You die in the game, you die for real.
If you die in the game, you die for real. Don't spoil Slumdog Millionaire.
So, Episode 7, like I mentioned before,
it's a good movie.
The things that the few sins, I guess, whatever, if you want to be hyperbolic about it. The one of the few things that I didn't like about it was that it still had that vibe of blank who just happened to be passing by.
Yeah.
It wasn't nearly as bad, like I said, of 1 through 3. It was like, hey, we're running away from the explosions. We need a spaceship. How about that one? And it's the Millennium Falcon. It just happens to be there. And then they get the Millennium Falcon, and just Han Solo happens to be there. And, blah, 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 different. It doesn't do it nearly as much as 1 through 3, because arguably 1 through 3 is based around that idea.
Right.
Which is dumb.
Yeah, and I was mentioning before just the concept of when you look at that scene is them walking in and going, oh, man, look how crazy this is. Like we're gonna take that ship because that one's a piece of junk. In their eyes, they're looking at like an Oldsmobile. They're looking at it like in this old beat up Cadillac, but it's a nice car.
Yeah.
And it runs great, but it's a beat up piece of junk. Even Luke, we talked about this before. Luke was like, "What a piece of junk! This is garbage."
Yeah.
So when they take that, it's a funny moment for you, the audience, going, "Ha! Look, they take the thing we know." And then they're flying it around in doopy doo.
I was fully expecting in episode 7 when they get in the Millennium Falcon, and I think Rey is flying it. She flies it, and then Finn gets in the little shooty bay,
The gunner bay.
the gunner bay. He finally hit something. I was fully expecting Rey to say something like "Don't get cocky" or something like that, like something that Han Solo said before. Like
cool.
I was fully expecting that. Maybe because I saw episode 1 through 3 and thought there would be some kind of dumb callback like that. Even though I would have loved that.
Yeah,
I would have loved that a whole lot. But like that would have been fine if they did that to me. But it wouldn't be straight up. Oh, by the way, Jabba the Hutt was at the pod race.
Yeah.
What purpose that serves, I don't know. But he was there. Remember him? It's great.
Remember Tatooine? That's a planet.
Yeah.
It's a Star Wars planet we know.
I fully thought they'd be on Tatooine in episode 7 too, but they weren't.
It's Jakku.
Jakku.
They are not on Tatooine. I know everyone thought it was Tatooine too because it's like the desert planet.
Maybe that would be a little too convenient, I guess. I don't know.
It would, and it would also make everyone automatically assume that Rey is
the daughter of someone important.
Yeah, or at least Luke in general.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Tatooine
is actually a Skywalker. We don't know Rey's last name.
We don't.
So
I guess we're gonna learn. We're gonna talk about what we think is fan theories too.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna read some fan fictions.
I really think they nailed it on the head with Finn and Rey being the heroes in this, because
they're great characters.
It's such a cool change of pace. It's something that I didn't even realize I wanted, but to get a Star Wars character that has no idea what he's doing and doesn't want to be there is a really fun change of pace with Finn.
Absolutely.
Finn, who just wants a friend.
Finn just wants a friend and life and freedom, and is like, I want out. I don't want to do this. I was taken from my home. This is not fair. He's a great. I love the fact that they created a character out of the stormtrooper concept.
Yeah,
it's great.
He is a rogue stormtrooper.
He's a rogue stormtrooper, and his goal is to basically like survive. And now he's getting out, and now he's a part. He's part of the resistance.
He is roped into something bigger.
Yeah.
But the fact that a Star Wars hero, a Star Wars character, at one point in episode 7, who I'm talking about Finn, by the way, straight up says, "This sucks, I'm out," and walks away. Yeah. That is a really cool moment.
It's very humanizing.
That was my favorite humanizing moment for him, when he says, "Guys, this is crazy. We shouldn't be doing this. I'm leaving.
Crazy, yeah.
I'm running away." That was my favorite humanizing moment for him. For Rey was when, before she meets anybody and she's doing the junking stuff and she gets her food and she goes back and eats it and puts on the helmet.
That was great.
Helmet. That was one of the coolest things. That tells you a whole lot about her without saying anything.
Yeah, we never focus back on the concept. We just know that like she's a nerd. She's just like, oh man,
she's playing pretend.
Remember those days?
Yeah, like I wish I could have been an X-wing pilot. That would be great.
It was cool.
It
was cool.
Like that tells you a whole lot more than her walking up to Alien Bob and him being like, "Let me get this straight. You're telling me you would have wanted to fly an X-wing?
Yeah.
What?
Someday I will, and you'll be completely dumb, Maximus Rebo."
Maximus Rebo.
It's Max Rebo's granddad, because Star Wars has to have everything connected.
Wait, is Max Rebo a character?
Max Rebo is the little blue elephant guy on the pianos in Jabba's palace.
Of course he has a name. Of course he does.
How do you know? Max Rebo's great.
It's still not as good as a name, and this is one of the few good things about episode 1 through 3. Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Ki-Adi-Mundi's a good name.
Best character name ever, and he looks hilarious.
I like Kit Fisto.
Kit Fisto is also good.
That's a good name. Star Wars is good at coming up with names.
Yeah, they're pretty good at names.
Even the prequels had good names.
Even though they all had 3 letters in them. It's almost like they got Invader Zim to do it or something.
Well, they got everybody. It's just like, it just sounds alien. Everything sounds alien. Where it's
Finn,
like,
Rey, Poe. Come on. Make their names a little longer.
Ren.
And Stimpy.
Yeah. I've been seeing jokes like that where it's like Kylo Ren and then Kylo Stimpy.
Yeah.
And they're both dressed like him. It's pretty funny.
So I forgot where we were in talking about this, but not enough Poe Dameron.
Poe Dameron's a great character.
Poe Dameron
is a great character.
I think he is going to be the new Han Solo in a way.
I think he is the new Han Solo.
I mean, he's not cocky. He's not the space pirate, or the space smuggler that Han Solo was.
Being the new version of a character,
he's just really charismatic.
Yeah, you don't need to be just like the character to be the new version. You just need to be You need to be the like playing that role of like, hey, I'm that character who's like straightforward. I'm a straight shooter. I'm gonna get things done. You don't need to be exactly the same. And I'm glad the characters aren't exactly the same. Like nobody feels like Poe, Finn, Rey, they all feel original. They all feel new and refreshing as characters, and that's where the movie's really strong.
And they did this experiment on Red Letter Media with the episode 1. They asked people to describe the characters in episode 1 without saying what they look like.
Right.
And that's exact because in this one, in episode 7, easy. Poe, he is the best pilot out there. He's really good at what he does. He's really charismatic. He knows that he's good, but he's not in your face about it.
He's confident. He's a bit sarcastic. He's very brave. He's very strong-willed.
He is patriotic to his group.
Right. Yeah. He's very
loyal.
He's courageous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rey is the kind of
she's hopeful,
naive.
She's a little naive. She's hopeful. She's very kind. She wants to embrace. She embraces and appreciates friendship.
Yeah.
You know, vague qualities.
Which is why her and Finn match well, because Finn wants a friend.
Yeah.
Finn friends.
Finn friends. Hey everybody, welcome to Finn Friends.
Finn and friends.
But yeah, Finn. You know, he's not cowardice, but he's just kind of confused.
World weary, maybe.
He's a world weary kind of person.
Yeah.
He's you know.
See, notice none of that where we're like, he's the guy who flies the X-wing.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, exactly.
It's the Lady Jedi.
We're not.
Know?
Yeah, we're not forced to use. We're not forced to use elements. We can just like look at a character and go, that's that character. That's really cool. You know.
Yeah. And all of their designs are very unique too. Like, you know, Poe Dameron looks separate from Finn. He looks separate from Rey.
Right.
You know, and Kylo Ren looks enough like Darth Vader to where his character, it makes sense for his character because he idolizes Darth Vader.
He's a Darth Vader cosplayer.
It's his Grampy. It's Grampy Vader.
Trust me, Grandpa. I'm gonna be.
Did you say Grandpa?
Just as cool as you. Let me get through the bit before you laugh. Damn it.
Grandpa Team Toe is the new.
I'm gonna be cool, just like you, Grandpa. There's no way.
Grandpa Vader.
Grandpa Tamaranian.
It's good. Grandpa. I can't get over Grandpa.
I'm sorry. That's just...
Can we please have Grandpa? Can we make our own Star Wars extended universe about Grandpa Team Toe?
That's fine.
Grandpa Team Toe.
Grandpa Tamtanian. Here's the thing. What we'll do is by the end of this, we'll have a Star Wars scene. We're going to show you a scene from the new Star Wars movie that we're making.
Yep. And starring Grandpa Team Toe.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Anyway,
it was one of the pod racers' name was like Team Toe Bangalese or something. He was the little like beetle looking one whose engine didn't start in the beginning.
Yeah.
He
was the worst character in the N64 game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's a funny joke.
Yeah.
That was a good racing game. Pod racer.
Oh, I finally have a reason to bring it up. I probably said this in the podcast. I feel stupid right now, but whatever. I'm going to say it just in case I have it. In the pod racing game, Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer, when you're in the store, Watto's there, right? When you are in the store,
you're buying upgrades or whatever.
Yeah, he says random clips, right? So he goes
his idle words.
Yeah, he goes, "Buy something, will ya?" Right? And you wait, and he'll go like "Qui paghiana," which means nothing. This is Star Wars talk. But I will never forget. I don't know what he says. I don't know what the man says. But I promise you, if you wait long enough, turn on your N64, turn on your PlayStation 1, he will literally go, he's like, "Qui paghiana, doobie-doo," and then he goes, "Oatmeal." I swear to God, that dude just goes, "Oatmeal."
Otto Oatmeal.
And I thought that was the funniest thing as a kid.
His name isn't Otto, it's Watto. It's me, Otto.
Watto.
Hello.
Hey, rocket power. Let's talk to Tito.
Oh, man.
Who do you think would win in a fight? Darth Maul or Tito from Rocket Power?
Oh, Tito would definitely have been force sensitive.
He would be. He's very force sensitive. Come on, he's like, as the Hawaiians used to say, eat the pineapple. Remember that episode?
He told you how to do long division by carrying pigs over the hills. So think pig.
That's true.
I remember these things, and I don't know why.
I will believe you.
Yeah. So Han Solo dies.
Han Solo does die.
That's messed up, man.
It was good. Fun fact.
in the theater.
Yeah.
As soon as in that part of Totally Not the Death Star, the Star Killer base. I couldn't remember its name for a second. I'm just gonna call it Not the Death Star. As soon as that confrontation happened, when Han Solo calls out to Ben Solo, I guess it's Solo.
Burn! Yeah. That's the sound clip. That wasn't me. That was actually taken from the movie. Here, I'll do it
again. As soon as Han Solo walked out onto that bridge, which had a big pit under it, I was like, one of these guys is dead. And it's not going to be Kylo Ren.
He's going to die. That'd be awesome if he died. The movie's just like...
kicked him off like...
What if the movie ended and there's no villain?
Episode 1.
No, because Palpatine.
Well, Grandmaster Snoke.
No, yay.
So...
It could have happened.
They just kick him down a pit, and it's like, well, it's Darth Maul all over again.
Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. And then you just see, Han Solo, we just kicked him in the legs.
Oh, no.
He just buckles and falls.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
I was.
I mean, I knew someone was going to die. Not at that point. I knew they were going to kill a character. A character that we know and love, be it like Chewie or some kind of thing. It's like something was going to happen because it's got to be this dude. Star Wars ain't messing around anymore.
No,
or,
of course.
This ain't your grandfather's Star Wars.
You needed a big moment of, oh my god,
because they build up.
They really go there.
They build up Kylo Ren, or build down maybe, because for
deconstruct.
No, that's not what I mean. I don't mean they don't. I don't mean that. What I'm saying is, they kind of make Kylo Ren less imposing as the movie goes on up to that point.
Agreed.
It is at first
because you're literally
he walks in like the first thing Kylo Ren does is he straight murders the dude from the Exorcist. The Exorcist. He was also in The Exorcist.
Yeah,
Max von Sydow. Like he just straight murders a guy.
He catches someone shoots a laser beam at him. He catches it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, whoa, this guy's really cool. You know.
And then next scene, he dives into Poe Dameron's mind, and it's like, whoa, dude, he's really good with the Force. And then he starts being not good at things. He starts throwing temper tantrums. He becomes more childlike. He's terrified of Grandmaster Snoke in a way.
Right, because you learn that he's still very much in training himself.
And he's still a kid, basically. Like he's basically Anakin Skywalker's age in like episode 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So
he's learning.
So then at that point you learn all about his past and how he was a failure in some way, I guess, and turned to the dark side, blah, blah, blah. So up until that point, you're not that scared of him anymore. You're just like, dude, this is a kid who's not getting his way and he's very angry about it. But then you see how dedicated to the dark side he is.
Right.
He isn't crying about being helped. He's being turned away from the dark side by his father. He's crying because thank you for letting me do this. I appreciate it. Right. Thanks, bro.
Exactly. No, it's that rite of passage. It's the villain rite of passage where it's like, because when you get to the point of you watch a character kill somebody in a movie, they're completely different. Good guy or bad guy, it doesn't matter. When someone is willing to kill another person, then they've crossed over some kind of boundary. And
he killed the guy in the beginning because he was a rebel, basically.
Well, right, but he's already gone to that point. But then there's like a point of passage of like killing someone of family, killing a friend. That is the rite of passage of like, I am now a villain.
He's straight up bad now.
Right. Before he was a troubled person. So now he will have a fall from grace. He will not be, because he died, we're not going to have him survive. You know what I mean? Or he, if he ever redeems himself, he will sacrifice himself. There's no way in hell that Kylo Ren comes out alive at the end. Like
I don't know. If we're gonna talk about fan theories at this point, I don't
want to get too far from the Han Solo thing. So I want to talk
this is still about Han Solo.
Okay.
One, I would not be surprised if they somehow brought Han Solo back. I wouldn't be surprised either way. If he's not really dead, that is troubling on its own, because then it doesn't kill Han Solo, it kills Death. To where it's like, oh, they're not really dead or whatever. If he comes back as half robot or something, I think what happened was out of game, I guess, was Harrison Ford was like, I'll do one. I think that's what happened.
Do you want to know the story?
No.
Oh no, well, I have the actual reason why he dies.
Oh, because he just wanted to do one and be done?
No.
Oh, what?
Okay, so this is the story. Harrison Ford has always worked with George Lucas and communicated about Star Wars.
Okay.
And in episode 1 or episode 4, A New Hope, he expressed the concept of this. He says, hey, you know, it'd be really cool. Everybody likes my character. I think at the end of the movie, Darth Vader should shoot down Millennium Falcon. I should die. Mm-hmm. Chewbacca doesn't need to die, but I should die. Mm-hmm. And he goes, yeah, but your character's likable. I want your character to be likable, and you can move on to the next movie. And he goes, I guess that's okay.
And so he pitched that idea to J.J. Abrams, and J.J. Abrams was like, dude.
It gets thicker than that too, because then we get to Empire Strikes Back, and he goes, we're gonna freeze him in carbonite, and he goes, kill my character.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? It's like, because it would be such a big moment. People will hate watching my character die. It's not that I don't want to be in these films.
They will hate the person who kills me.
Exactly. It will make the threat way bigger. You will hate Boba Fett more. You will hate Darth Vader more. It has Luke more of a drive. Kill my character. I want to keep being in Star Wars, but kill my character. It's a good idea. And he goes, no, we're not doing that. I like you. Yeah. And so
we can make toys out of you.
Exactly. And then in Jedi, he pitched it again. Kill my character. He never listened to him. Now when 7 rolls around, there's no George. He goes, hey, JJ, I got an idea. And he goes, I'm listening.
You want to make Kylo Ren fucked up? You know?
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was literally the concept that Harrison Ford had a really cool idea of making you care about the death of his character.
Yeah.
And we finally get to see it. And I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool that they went that direction.
Okay.
And
speaking from I don't know what they're thinking over there or anything, but either way, if Disney was like, dude, have him come back and then kill off for real or something, I don't know. That probably won't happen. I'm just saying I would not be surprised.
Well, sure, yeah.
But I think, if we're going to get into fan theories here for a second,
yeah,
I don't think Kylo Ren is going to be bad at the end of Episode 8.
At the end of Episode 8?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think there's going to be something that happens with him.
Really?
I feel like they don't want to. Okay, from a storytelling standpoint, I guess, I think what they did with Episode 8 was they wanted to make it feel like the original Star Wars.
You mean 7?
What'd I say? 8?
You said 8.
Oh, sorry. I meant 7. What they did with 7 was they went, people want to see Star Wars like they like it. They don't want it to be like 1 through 3 because obviously we know they hated that. Mm-hmm. They want it to feel familiar.
Yes.
I guess we got to do the Death Star because they know that. They're not going to bring a Death Star back in 8 or 9. Yeah. I don't think they will. I think that's formulaic. I think they know that.
I think the reason why they put, really quick, just to be on the Death Star concept, I think the reason why they put the Death Star in there, Starkiller, yeah.
Not the Death Star.
Not the Death Star. I think they did that because, and this is my personal headcanon, I'd like to think that they think that a planet that blows up other planets is too good of idea to not try again. That's how I brush it off, because again, it's Star Wars, keep it broad. I like the idea of going, it worked once, we'll do it again.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, all right, so go on. What were you saying?
I lost my train of thought now. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
So that's why they went, it's like the Death Star. It's the classic tale of A New Hope retold in this new, more modern,
it's a soft
interesting
reboot.
way. Yeah, a soft reboot in a way. They do make mention of stuff in the previous everything, but it's not all about it. It's not like like it's been long enough to where the things that happened in Episode 6 are basically fables. They're like, dude, you knew, like, Han Solo, you're real? Like, oh my God, Luke Skywalker is real? That happened? You know?
Yeah, you could do the parallel to that too, where it's like, wait a minute, it was all real? You fought in the Clone Wars? Same
exactly.
thing.
Yeah,
you know
it's exactly like that. So I think what they would do, if this isn't, to toot my own horn or anything, but if it was me, I would think it would be interesting. And I think they might consider this too. I think what they want to do from here is they want to mess with the formula people know or are expecting. I think to make Kylo Ren Darth Vader, basically, because that's what they're doing with him right now, is they made him, basically him killing Han Solo is like Darth Vader killing Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
He is bad. He killed the good guy. He is bad. So I think instead of doing that's the first movie with Darth Vader, second movie with Darth Vader, he's just the bad guy. Darth Vader 3, he becomes good. I think what if they make Kylo Ren become either a light side or some kind of ally in some way in episode 8, at the end of episode 8, to where it goes, he turns away from Grandmaster Snoke in some way. This is pure speculation, obviously.
Of course.
That's what would be interesting to me. If they don't do that, fine, whatever. But I'm not saying this is what's going to happen because I know everything about Star Wars.
No.
I'm saying that would be interesting to me.
That's fair. Just to create a counterpoint, just in general, the only thing I have a problem with that, personally for me, is I think that's kind of almost backing out of what we accomplished in 7. We have turned Rey into a person who's comfortable with holding a lightsaber, and we have turned Kylo Ren into comfortable with killing bad. So we're watching 2 young people go completely other directions. So if we saw Kylo Ren quickly run back to good,
I'm not saying it would be quick. I'm just saying,
but
like,
one movie I think might be a little too quick though.
I'm saying that would be a good bombshell for the end of 8.
Okay.
Like instead
It'd
of
be
like,
shocking, yeah.
Like what would be cool is if, this is again pure speculation, and if it's not this, I won't be offended.
No, this is your opinion. It's fine.
Is like, what if this is just off the top of my head, like Kylo Ren has them cornered, and he's throughout the movie he has shown his I think in episode 8 at least he is going to be messed up.
Yeah.
He is furious that he lost.
Yeah.
I think he hates himself that he had to kill his dad in a way. Some part of him hates that. He got beat by a girl. Like, that was his face in episode 7 when he got beat by Rey. Was like, oh my god, oh no. You're like, I got beat by the newbie. I'm supposed to be an all powerful guy. I'm not saying, oh my god.
I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
It's like, I can't believe I got beat by someone who's never held a lightsaber before.
Right. And that's what I like is the fact that it's like, we saw them both battle young. I think the third movie is going to be them battling older. You know what I mean? I think we're going to get that, like they're going to be, we're going to watch, because even J.J. Abrams in interviews, he said that The Force Awakens, the point of the title, is the Force awakens in a Jedi and in a dark side Sith person. You know what I mean? So it's referencing Rey and Kylo Ren at the same time, which I think is cool. So I feel like what will be exciting is build up a push for one character, build up a push for another character, and then have their climax within the whole point of the movie. Because like Rey did the ultimate noble thing by going to see Luke Skywalker, taking the sword and standing up to bad, and Kylo Ren going to the dark side, going, I will go with Snoke, I will not go with my father, and I will kill my father. Ultimate bads. Yeah. So we've gone,
now I'm good, now I'm bad.
Exactly. We've now become good, we've now become bad. So I think if you defang the bad side, we won't have much to fight other than just Snoke.
I don't think it would be of him being like, oh, I'm sorry. I think it would be more of maybe he can turn on Snoke in his own way.
Right.
Like make his own club.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. If he's anti-hero, that works too.
That's more of what I'm saying. Not like, okay, I'll join the resistance now because I made a mistake.
Yeah.
It would be more like, hey, Snoke, you made me do these crazy things. I want to do this instead.
Right.
Screw you, man.
Yeah.
And then he goes off and makes the new order or whatever. So I think we're going to get a lot more backstory on the New Order too.
We're going to get more backstory with the New Order. We're going to get more backstory with what the Knights of Ren are. We're going to learn where or who knows Rey and where Rey comes from and stuff like that. We're going to get all those in. We're going to get a lot of information in 8. 8 is going to help explain everything, because like it kind of works like when you have a trilogy, it's kind of like the first one, all the questions.
The hero arrives.
Yeah. The second one is let's answer a bunch of stuff. And then the third one is let's use all that information to get us
to get to the end.
Get to the end.
Yeah, that's the standard story setup.
Right, exactly. So it works for what it needs to be. So
in the standard narrative classic hero story thing that college professors like to talk about.
Okay.
The end of Act 2 is supposed to be the lowest point. So that might mean episode 8 is going to end on something horrible too.
And that's what happens with Empire Strikes Back.
Maybe Kylo Ren will sacrifice himself at the end of 8, and then it's like, whoa, that's crazy.
Right. I mean, think about it. It's like you have like Han Solo gets frozen in carbonite. Luke gets his hand chopped off, falls on a pit, and it is the lowest point for all our characters.
Yeah.
So it works. It works for the film simplistic dynamic. So I think personally, because there's no way they're all gonna be partying at the end of 9, all hugging. Sorry, Mom, didn't mean to kill Dad.
Yeah.
We're not gonna have that moment.
Yeah.
The only thing we could possibly have is, because that happened, we're going to be in a situation where Kylo Ren either goes down swinging as a bad guy, or he realizes the error of his ways at the last minute. Not like Darth Vader that he kills him, but maybe it's like, we gotta blow up this place after this battle and stuff like that. And then he goes, go on ahead. I'll be the one to make sure that someone's holding the button down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, why? And it's like, because I realized that I'm a dick. Boom, you know? And he saves the day, like, but just in a sacrificial kind of way. You know what I mean? Like, I think that makes the most sense. I think it's
I'm the most excited to see where things go with Kylo Ren.
Me too.
I'm super. I mean, obviously, I'm stoked that Luke is doing stuff with Rey at some point.
Sure.
Man, that must have been a bit of a tease for Mark Hamill on that. Like, Star Wars Episode 7, and they want me to be in it. Oh, I don't even say anything. Oh.
I almost think that's something that he would be on board with. Like,
well, no, I'm just saying, like, dude.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I can't wait to see what 8 is.
I think it would suck. That would be a big deal to me if that was the only one I was gonna be in.
Yeah.
Like, what if Han Solo had no lines?
Yeah.
I'd be like,
oh, okay.
that's cool. But I gotta give it back to the Harrison Ford Han Solo dying. I gotta give it up for Harrison Ford. That's really, really cool of you to be into the idea that your character should die.
Yeah.
For the sake of the story, that's awesome. You're not like, I want to be in all the movies. Give me the money.
Give me the movies. Come on. That's exactly what he sounds like.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, when he's not on a camera, guys,
He's a little
listen to him in
gremlin.
an interview. Like, look him up on Conan or something like that. So, what'd you think of this movie? Hey, I really like Star Wars.
That's exactly what he sounds like.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a spot on impression. So we should probably start wrapping this up pretty quick, but
Okay.
yeah,
so
what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, I think all the characters work really well. It disconnects itself pretty nicely from the prequels. If you like the prequels, you could still be connected story-wise, but it doesn't really feel necessary anymore.
I think the only nod I can think of in 7 to 1 through 3 is these guys are better than clone troopers.
It is.
I think that's the only nod.
That's not true, because it's very subtle. But when Luke is talking, when Rey has the premonition to touch the lightsaber, you hear all these voices. You can hear Luke talking. You can hear Yoda talking.
And young Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And they actually had young Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor?
Yeah.
Ewan McGruder? Whatever.
Ewan McGregor. Yeah.
Ewan McGregor. He came in and recorded new lines
Yeah.
for that moment. You know what's funny, too? Apparently, it was scrapped from the script, but they were going to have Hayden Christensen show up.
Yeah, we talked about that in the last podcast.
Oh, we did? Yes, that's okay. I did remember. I was like, I remember we had this talk.
He was going to be like a Force ghost or something, and it's like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
don't do that.
don't do it. But regardless, though, I think everything felt coherent. I think everything felt like it was a part of the same universe.
It was definitely an episode 1 of 3.
Yeah.
It's a setup. It was basically all a trailer for what's coming up in a way, but it was satisfying.
Yes.
in its own right.
I personally think that, by the way, let's go with, if we're going to finish up speculations real quick, I think the origin of Rey, let's take our guesses now.
What's going to be in episode 8?
Yeah, sure. Or just in general. I think
episode 8 is going to focus a lot on Rey.
I think so too. And I think the movie, and I'm going to throw a crazy curveball at you guys, I think the opening of the movie is going to be in the past, either watching Luke train the young Jedis, or looking at a young Kylo Ren, or we're going to be interacting with the father of Rey. And here we go. Here's my guess. I'm not 100% confident on this. This is just my only thing that makes sense that I would want to see happen. If we're going to make Rey related to anybody, because for the record, I do not want Rey related to anybody. I don't think it's necessary. I like her as just a person.
I think saying she's a Skywalker is way too easy.
I don't like her being a Skywalker. I think that's too predictable. That's too boring. I think if you're going to connect her to anybody from previous movies, she needs to be the daughter of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I said the exact same thing.
You did?
I did. Yes. There's something that happened that I can't.
Can I say why I think that?
There's something that happened in the movie when I was like, what if she's a Kenobi?
Yeah.
Like, that would be awesome.
Think about it this way. Okay, so she's left at a very young age on Jakku, right?
Yeah.
Why would Obi-Wan Kenobi leave his daughter on another planet? They're keeping Luke and Leia in hiding, okay? Obi-Wan Kenobi ends up with someone else and goes, I'm going to leave my family here. I need to go. Because clearly someone's holding Rey back when they fly off.
She can't be Obi-Wan Kenobi's daughter.
Why not?
That timeline wouldn't add up.
Wait, why?
Obi-Wan Kenobi was old when Luke was young.
Oh, you're right.
So I'm saying
granddaughter.
I'm just saying, what if she's a Kenobi?
Yeah,
you know?
it could be granddaughter, it could be cousin,
that's
it could
what
be
it was.
niece.
That's what it was. It was the scene where she did the Jedi mind trick on Daniel Craig.
Yeah, that's true.
When she did the Jedi mind trick, I was like, that's telling us something.
That's a Kenobi thing.
That's what I was thinking of when after we watched it at the movie theater. I was like, her doing the Jedi mind trick, just saying if it would work. I would not surprise me if she's a Kenobi.
There's something weird about that, yeah. And it's like, I bet we're gonna have a flashback where she saw her grandfather or saw her father. Like, I think Obi Kenobi had a son or had a daughter, and they had a kid, and it's Obi-Wan Kenobi's granddaughter. I would be okay with that, because
that would be the least offensive universe shrinking thing.
Agreed. Because what's cool about that is we don't know what Kenobi did from Star Wars Episode 3 to 4.
Yeah.
What was he doing for 25 years?
Yeah.
There's plenty to go along. Like, he met this girl, and he
turned away because Jedi are supposed to be celibate and blah blah blah, but then he turned away from whatever.
Yeah, why not? That'd be cool.
Then he just became a weird old hermit man, which is what he wasn't for.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about prequels either. We just kind of threw that together. We're just like, Jedi's can't like people.
Yeah,
we can't have them kiss.
That's dumb.
It's Romeo and Juliet's romance. Stop it. None of that. Yeah,
it's like, well, where are you gonna get more Jedi?
Yeah, you know, there's so many things like.
Where are they?
No, you just gotta adopt kids.
Yeah,
that's how you get Jedi.
If you want more Jedi, that ain't how you do it.
Yeah,
it's science, space science.
Guys, go to your local orphanage and adopt a kid and teach him how to sword fight.
Adopt a Jedi.
Adopt a Jedi today.
Yeah.
Call this number, and you too can have a Jedi child. Let's get
Star Wars Episode 8, adopting Jedi children.
Hey, Star Wars Episode 8, get your younglings.
And don't murder them like Anakin Skywalker did, because
you killed younglings
because he's bad.
What?
You see, there's the bad way to do that. To go, oh, he's bad, not
kill children.
Yeah, it's like, oh, just have him kill kids, whatever.
Just have him murder everyone for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
He just kills
remember
people.
All these characters that were standing in the background? They're dead now. Don't you feel bad? They did so much.
Like, can you think about that for a minute? Like, we're supposed to have like this wonderful redemptive scene in Star Wars Episode 6, which feels genuine and real.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to 3 and he's like killing people, and you're like, no.
It's because he's bad, okay?
But that doesn't make sense. Darth Vader is not that bad of a guy. He's just... Again, he's
seduced by the dark side.
He's a dark wizard. Doesn't mean he has to be a murderer. Huh?
Said he was seduced by the dark side, which took all of 5 seconds, I think.
Yeah, just I want to say Padme's life. Advanced technology.
Yeah,
can probably do that.
There's robots.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Emperor Palpatine is the reason why she died. Just so, like, if I kill her, then maybe Anakin will be my friend.
Who cares?
I know. I know, right?
Believe that. That's what happened.
Believe
it's kind of like
that.
In episode 1 through 3, anytime there's a plot hole, they go, well, it was the power of the dark side clouding his judgment.
It was yeah. I know.
It's like, so it was badly written. Got it.
Yeah, no. Like, how many people,
final thoughts here.
How many people can he shoot?
Yeah.
With his mind-blocking powers.
He's really good at dark side.
It's a radius.
Yeah.
Anywho, so Star Wars Episode 7...
there's some people saying Grandmaster Snoke is the Emperor.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who say he's Jar Jar Binks, too.
That makes a lot of sense.
Doesn't it?
It's good.
Doesn't it?
I will be very disappointed if he's the Emperor.
Yeah, it's a stupid idea.
Yeah.
I'd be okay if
you're not killing the Emperor, you're killing death. Don't do that.
I'd be okay if he absorbed the power, the essence of his soul or something.
Yeah,
I think he should be Darth Plagueis.
What if he was just some dude who worked on the new Death Star that was working down in that little well,
and he's just
he just landed on the Emperor landed on it, and that little explosion that happened was all the Force going into him.
Oh, that's not what I was.
It's like
say.
My name was Jeff. I was a technician.
How funny would it be? Let's take that even further. What if Jeff is just like downstairs, like Wizard of Oz, like with a little camera going, like, Kylo Ren, you should totally fuck up everybody. He believes me. He thinks Darth Vader thinks he's cool. Yeah. And it's just a guy pranking Kylo Ren. Yeah. That'd be way better. I want that movie.
Yeah. I think, we'll go with that.
Yeah. So anyway,
Grandmaster
Jeff is the ultimate villain, and we have characters like Max Rebo and Cy Snoodles are the ones who save the day.
Yep. So. And Grandpa.
And Grandpa Calrissian is the best character.
Grandpa Ten Toes.
Grandpa Ten Toes is the ultimate Jedi Master.
His last name is 10 Toes because he has 10 toes, so there's not really anything that special about him.
Here's a scene as promised. Should we do emails? Let's do emails first.
We don't have any emails about Star Wars.
Oh, we don't have any emails about Star Wars.
No.
Okay, so here is a scene from the new Star Wars movie starring Grandpa Ten Toes and who's his
his apprentice, Jeff the technician.
Jeff the technician?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Plot twist.
No, it's the one that Emperor Palpatine fell on. This is a flashback, by the way.
Okay. Cool. All right. So here's the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff.
Hi. Oh. How are you?
Oh no. I was asking your character's name is Jeff.
It is.
Okay.
How are you doing?
Jeff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, your voice changed.
Thank you
for
noticing.
Yeah.
Jeff, I wanted to let you know that before I die, which will probably be 300 more years because I have the power of the Force to keep me alive. I want you to understand that if you're ever going to prank someone from the dark side, make a 6-foot invisible hologram of yourself.
Invisible?
That only you... Excuse me, I'm old. That only you can see. Do it and save the Jedi Order by killing all of them.
All right. Have you taken your medicine today, sir?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, that's one of my jobs is to make sure you take your medication for the day. Hemorrhoid cream, have you taken it?
I put it directly into my ass.
Oh, I didn't know we could swear in Disney movies.
The Pirates of the Caribbean.
Ah, that's right. I did watch that yesterday.
You did?
Oh no! There's a war of stars outside. The stars are fighting.
You're the only one who can magic.
I better stop these Star Wars because I'm a cool guy. Lightsaber.
And that was the scene from Star Wars Episode 8. I was going to say that didn't sound like Star Wars for a minute.
It was.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's the president's song. Whoops.
Oh, I was gonna say. I think you veered away from Star Wars.
That's Star Wars.
That's Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh.
See, you know what my favorite, my favorite moment with my friend not knowing Star Wars. I was saying, I was like, "What's your favorite Star Wars song?" And he goes, "Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na," and I was like,
"That's the Dinosaur Show."
Are you serious? And he goes, "Yeah, it's Star Wars." I'm like, "No, it's Dino Show, dude. You're wrong."
It's good.
Yeah.
You showed him.
No, but I didn't mean it like in a jerk way. I was just like, I need you to know because I don't want you to get hurt. Someone not nice or someone a lot meaner than me will be mean to you. I just want you to know that's Dinosaur Land.
Dinosaur Show coming up next time on the THAC Posdcast.
Now, if you guys want to see more Dinosaur Train, don't forget to write into the THAC Posdcast and let us know if you want to see more episodes.
Check out your local PBS station, Dinosaur Train.
Watch Dinosaur Train.
Yeah.
And again, if you guys enjoyed us rambling about Star Wars, please let us know. And what other topics you want to see on more special podcasts? Do you want us to talk about board games? Do you want us to talk about
videograms?
You want to talk about videograms?
Video grandmas?
We could talk about
video grandpa?
Video grandpas. We could talk about comic books. We could talk about cartoons. We could talk about movies.
Let us know if you want any more special edition THAC podcasts.
Let us know what you want in the next ones.
For now, wrapping it up here for like the 5th time. But
this is the end now.
This is for real the end.
Yes.
Right now. Bye, everybody. Oh, wrong hand. Here we go. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on THAC.